Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. So Bitcoin has followed the wave count here in wave C of 2. It has come into the support area and ideally it is now going to turn around. But we have basically maxed out the support area. Interestingly, Ethereum has not maxed out its support area. It could drop a little bit lower in wave 2 and would still be basically in this scenario. Bitcoin shouldn't really drop any lower. It can, and it wouldn't invalidate the current pattern, but as you will probably know, below the 78.6% retracement, which is at 16,865, this scenario will get far less likely, and it may not work out anymore. So the bulls should really turn it around here in this wave 2. So to summarize, we did get into the support area as suggested here over the weekend because this move to the upside looked purely corrective, not impulsive, suggesting a decline still in wave 2. I was disappointed when we already turned around here. on the 9th of December, but it was not strong enough to suggest any kind of impulse to the upside really. We never broke above the wave 5 high. We never broke substantially above this swing high. So the idea was this was only a 3-wave structure, which you can clearly identify. Very clear 3-wave structure, not 5, only 3. And the idea was it will be followed here by a C wave. And I think we've seen that. And it would need to be finished now. Now I'm not telling you it definitely is finished, but in this particular scenario, it should be finished. I'm now in favor of the idea that it's finished, but of course you need to understand there is no sign of a reversal yet. I'm in favor of it's finished because this is my primary scenario, a wave 1 to the upside, a wave 2 to the downside, and this was the key support area. We did hit the lowest possible support in the area. Should we drop below that level at 16,865, then yeah, I mean, technically it could still find support at 16.8k and 16,734. But below that it will definitely get invalidated. And the thing is, and exactly that's why we've got these support areas, if it drops below that support area, support is most likely not going to work anymore. So it would really need to move up from here. Otherwise we are gonna get back into bear mode here, unfortunately. And the bears get back into control. So we had here last week, we had a situation that the bears were pushing down. They did not threaten really the bulls because also here we only touched the support area in green. But had we gone far down and then broken 16.3k, the bears would have come into control. Oops. So now the bears failed clearly, and the bearish scenario was only the alternative scenario. So the move to the upside was quite a strong sign of the bulls. Here on the weekend, the bulls failed as well. Now that was not entirely unexpected, but they would fail if we now break below that 16,685 level. If we break below that level, well, we could still, and that would be the more bullish interpretation, because I always want to make you aware what is another possible bullish interpretation. Well, here for Bitcoin, the idea would then be that possibly this wave 2, which we think ended here on the 7th of December, when we hit the support area here, but again, we only touched it. So we haven't really maxed it out or anything, we really only touched it. And that's always something where I'm thinking, to be honest, the wave C was quite short here. And I would, at the time, I was still like, ideally we go a little bit lower into this support area. But if we break above the trend line, which I took now off the chart, and which we did, then yes, probably we're already in the next wave to the upside. So long story short, if we come down lower, then my idea will be that this here was probably just a large WXY scenario, in a wave 2, and that this wave 2 was never finished, but it actually sits down here. So it would not necessarily be bearish really, but we have to go to an alternative bullish scenario, and then it remains what we said last week, a drop below 16.3k. That is what would be bearish then, okay? But at the moment, we are still in this scenario. So let's see if this holds and if the bulls are strong enough. You can draw when when you look at these wave 2 corrections. You can connect waves 5 and B, and you get a channel that's part of the Elliott Wave rules, and you then move the channel, so you create a parallel channel, yeah, and you can see that we had a so-called throw under of this channel. And the so-called throw under is regularly how these impulses, because the wave C is an impulse, how these impulses end. So that, however, would need to be followed by a, let's call it, throw over of the channel line. So if we get back above the channel line, it is the first indication that you can get that this move down was finished. If we don't get it, then next support will be 16.8k, then 16,734, and to be honest, then we could drop all the way down to 16.3k. And if we lose that level, then my view from last week remains that we are going to go directly into the 14 to 14.5k area with an increased likelihood. So it's difficult. Ideally, yeah, we would now want it to turn around. Again, I gave you the first signal that is needed for that. Besides that, we just need to be patient now and see if the market is turning it around. We've got a bit of a reaction here to the 78.6% fib level, but not enough to confirm yet that a low has been made here. I mean, let's go to maybe the 15-minute chart, but that's not enough really for me. It's a small 5-wave structure here, so it's possibly promising, but the next task for the bulls needs to be, this could be a small wave 1, micro, nano, hero wave 2, and we would need to break above this high now in the next step, 16,950, and then need to get back above the channel descending support line. So it's going to be interesting. And yeah, besides that, we will have an interesting week. Yeah, we've got the CPI data release, which is tomorrow, isn't it? And then we've got the day after tomorrow, we've got the interest rate decision. Okay, that's my update about Bitcoin. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.